What is up, loud and proud crowd? We're going for a little bit of a road trip. It's going to be a 3-hour drive going to my grandparents' place. I'm going to do some hunting, maybe look at some trucks, who knows. You know, just kind of like just getting away. So that's what we're going to do. It's going to be a good time. We're going to get the old girl started up here. Coldest night yet. It has been in the 20s the last, well, probably like last 15 hours now, and I haven't driven the truck in just about 24 hours. So we're gonna get to doing a little bit of a cold start on the old girl. See how she does. I haven't put the key in, so she hasn't been like warming up or anything. I just packed the truck. And man, forgive me with this camera. I'm gonna get the whole camera situation figured out very, very soon. Okay. She's cold. Let's see. It's gonna be like an actual cold start. Holy Moses. First cold start. That was actually really cold. She was cold, boys. Definitely cold. Her idle is stabilizing out pretty much where I'd like to have it. So, doing good, doing good. Yeah, we're not terrible on fuel. It's not like full, but we can probably make this 350-mile trip and get back and still have a quarter tank. I mean, these 12 valves, guys, and this is an automatic, this isn't even one of the manuals, they just cruise so nice. And I'm on mud terrain, 35, not 35s, I wish. I wish, not wish. They're 33-inch mud terrains, 295s, and they do good. They do good. Fuel-wise, truck does great, gets about 22 on the highway, which, you know, might not sound like amazing, but for what I was used to in my old Chevy, my old Z71 build, which even had the 4.8 liter V8 in it, it got probably 10 to 12 on the highway after I put 35-inch mud tire, well, not even mud tires, 35-inch all-terrains on it and a 6-inch lip. That's what it got. So it wasn't too bad, you know, for what I had done to it, but I mean, these tires are way more aggressive than that one, and this truck's way heavier, and the fuel mileage is way better. That just shows with a diesel engine, they are much more efficient. So the people who try to argue diesel versus gasoline efficiency, there's no argument to be made. It is hands down, you cannot beat the efficiency of a diesel engine. It's generally, this is the way I look at it, and some of you guys might not care, but generally the way I look at it, a diesel engine, if you're looking at the same weight vehicle, whether it be a Ram 2500 with a V8 Magnum or be the Ram 2500 with a 5.9 liter Cummins in it, the 5.9 is generally going to get 2 times better fuel mileage in the same configuration truck than, you know, a gasoline engine. That's just a general rule of thumb, and it holds pretty true. So we're gonna get going here. We're gonna get cruising. Hopefully it's a smooth ride, no bumps, no, you know, rough patches on the way there, and we can get to doing some hunting, looking at some trucks, maybe do a little Q&A with the grandfather. That's always a good time. He's a really good guy, really funny guy, and his personality can kind of open up on camera. He used to be pretty funny. So anyways, guys, we're gonna get on the road here and see how she does. The boys are getting close to the highway where I'm gonna merge on, and the speed limit is 60. However, I'm not going to push my truck hard. I'm not really a fan of pushing my truck hard, but let's see how she does getting up to speed. Now, I do know that there's a lot of people out there who think that my transmission probably shifts like crap. They're like, there's no way it's an original transmission with 218,000 miles on it. Well, quick story. First owner had it, 96 to 01, did a highway driving and put all but the last 20,000 miles on it, highway cruising with a camper in the back. So really, the transmission has not been through a ton. You know, the last 20,000 miles, I don't know with the previous owner, but through the first portion of its life, it was not really abused to my knowledge. So let's get it going. Trans temps are up to 120. Does work. Just cruise on, get it set about 60, set the cruise and you're good. Foot off the pedal, we're cruising. Somebody's going to be coming to check out my truck here again within the next handful of days here. So yes, the truck does, cruise works, shifts great, brakes are good, everything checks out. Anyways, we're going to be on the highway here for a little while, and then I will pick you guys up. I'm not even sure where I'm going to pick the camera up next, but we're going to be on here a few hours, so I'll definitely try to reach back with you guys not too far from now. Well, boys, she's doing good. One thing I just realized is my fuel gauge apparently gets stuck at 3/4 tank. It was at a 3/4 tank still after about a week of driving, and I knew that it should have gone not down a ton, but at least an 1/8 of a tank. So then, you know, another week goes by, so 2 weeks go by, and it's still in 3/4 tank. And I was like, okay, you know, this is not, obviously something's wrong. I'm gonna go and try to figure this out. I'm like, do I want to rip my bed off for a third time and then check the fuel gauge and float? And I could adjust the float and then put it all back together and then still not know if it's fixed for another week, you know what I mean? So I was like, or I could just try to fill up at the pump and see if that fixes the problem. Well, I did that. I went to the pump and it was not a 3/4 tank. I go to the pump and I fuel up and the thing takes $75, and I was like, holy Moses, you know what I'm saying? So it was just one of those deals, and apparently I was at more like a 1/4 tank or less and not a 3/4 tank. So that can be kind of an issue. But when I filled up, the float on, or my gauge went up to full tank again, because I filled it up completely until the pump stopped. So when I filled up, it went up all the way until it stopped again. So I was like, okay, well, I must have got it fixed, obviously, or obviously it wouldn't have moved. So I thought, and now I've driven the truck for the last week, and it's been gradually working its way down, you know, as I've been driving it, slowly but surely. And then it got to about, I told myself originally, I'm like, when it gets down to about a 3/4 tank, and then I put on another, you know, 20, 30 miles, 40 miles, then you'll be able to tell whether or not the gauge is working or not. So I put on another 50, 60, 70 miles, and that was on this trip. You know, it just got down to a 3/4 tank yesterday after about a week of driving from full, and it didn't move at all, you know, driving it for the first hour. So I'm like, great. And I just put 20 bucks in, and then it took it back up a little bit, but not much, because the gauge wasn't working for the first, you know, for the last hour, because once it got down to 3/4 tank, like I said, where it stopped working before, it's like hung up there. I don't know what's wrong, like if the gauge on the float itself, like the lever, if there's something there keeping it from being able to move up and down fluently, or I don't know what it is, but like the top quart of the tank, the gauge works. After that, it locks up. I don't know what it is, but it kind of sucks. So I'm gonna be cruising here. So far though, the truck has been cruising very nicely. I haven't run into any issues with it, other than realizing that my gauge actually doesn't function past 3/4 tank like I thought it was this whole time. After I filled it back up the second time, I thought it was working, but I guess it's not. So whatever, we're cruising here. I've seen some deer. I've seen 3 bucks and 5 does, all in different fields on my way up here so far. And since I'm coming up here to hunt, that's a good sign. And it's starting to snow, and it's only like 25 degrees out right now, so I'm gonna get in town with about 1 hour to hunt this afternoon. Pretty excited. Might even try to slip in a little bit of a Q&A with my grandfather if I can. At my grandparents' place now, I told you guys I was going to try to answer some questions for you guys. First question, have you decided what you're going to college for? I'm actually not intending on going to college. I've got other ideas and other plans that don't involve that. Do you do shoutouts? No, I do not do shoutouts. Biggest buck you've ever killed, 144-inch 10-pointer at 13 years old with a compound. What are some of the first things you will do to your next 12 valve? I'm not entirely sure. It really depends on the truck that I actually end up buying. Will I ever make a Cummins race truck? I've actually thought about it. If I did end up buying, let's say, 2-wheel drive, 5-speed manual, I'd actually consider doing like a street build. Would you consider buying the nastier 12 valve from your dad if he would sell it to you? Probably not, due to him wanting to actually build the truck. I've talked to him before about it, and he said that he would prefer to keep the truck since he got it at a really good price if he can, but if worse came to worse and I can't find a truck and I need video content, he said he'd let me buy and build it. What is your least favorite Dodge Cummins generation? My least favorite generation. If I had to choose a least favorite, which I don't really have one, if you had to choose a least favorite year of the Dodges, what would it be?
Least favorite?
Your least favorite.
Before they started putting the Cummins in the truck.
Because like I can't really say I don't like first gens because we love first gens. Can't say I don't like second gens because I like my second gen. Everybody likes second gens. Can't say I don't like third gens because they're good trucks too. Not really any of those trucks are really like bad years for the Cummins engine. They all run really good and they all look really good. So in that regard, I don't really have a least favorite other than prior to them having the Cummins diesels on them. Do you prefer stick or automatic? I currently drive an automatic, but my next truck I do intend on trying to wait out for a 5-speed manual. I guess you never know. What do you prefer, automatic or manual?
At my age, automatic.
Wasn't your first gen, was that a manual? Was that auto?
No, it was automatic, but I know a lot of people, for resale, probably be easier for the automatic to be sold than the 5-speed. Some people probably don't know what a 5-speed is, yes, or a 4-speed.
Yeah.
You know, but I grew up on a clutch and a pedal and a gas pedal. When I was a kid, you know, we learned to drive a tractor and then we learned to drive a truck.
Some people look down and they're like, why are there 3 pedals? I really don't have like, I don't like one or I do like the other. I could go either way, but for the 12 valves and just Cummins in general, I would say a good rule of thumb is if you can drive a manual, probably go with a manual, just because the automatic transmissions are more prone to having issues. That's just been the history of those trucks. How many miles are on all of the diesel trucks? My dad's KingRanch has 65,000, my truck 218. The nasty red 12 valve has 149,000. The first gen has 84,000. The 7.3 has 277,000, I believe. If your truck didn't have rust holes, would you keep it? Yes and no. Really, I just want to move on to another build and something different, and you'll see what I mean by that when I get my next truck. And the biggest thing is I want a manual. There's nothing wrong with my transmission. It shifts great. It doesn't like super hard slam into gears or slip or anything like that, but I would rather have a 5-speed manual. When are you, Dippin' Diesel, Paradox, and What the Duck going to collab? I do not know entirely. I told them once I moved and I got settled and I was more stable financially, I could do it. Currently still in the works of that, and that's what we're doing. So I don't know for sure. Would you rather have a high mileage 12 valve or a stock low mileage 6.0 Powerstroke? I would say a high mileage, as in like 250 to 350. I'd rather have a high mileage 12 valve over a 6-liter Powerstroke. That's just me. Some guys will argue it because some people have driven those trucks for a long time and been good. Other guys will say that they would go with a high mileage 12 valve as well, because you never know with the 6.0s. Favorite truck out of all 5? If you could have one, which one would it be? Okay, probably the first gen, just because of the rareness of it, the coolness of it, the low mileage. I don't know, it was one of the original just cool Dodge diesel trucks. Good truck. If you had to choose out of all of our trucks that we have, which one would you choose?
I like your white truck.
Yeah, we both like the 92. It's just cool. Why not a 3rd gen? Really, they're more expensive and they're going to be more expensive to modify, and at the current stages of the channel it's starting to pick up to where funds are more available, but still in the stages where it's more cost effective to work on a 12 valve than it would be a 3rd gen. And currently you're not seeing build stuff every day because it does cost money and money doesn't really grow on trees. And if I had a 3rd gen, it would just be more so, you know, of having to save back to actually be able to do anything. Would you buy American Forces? I would consider it if I had the funds and if it was the right setup on the right truck. What kind of truck does your grandfather have?
I've got a Dodge Dakota 98. It's got 318 engine in it. It's starting to have some transmission problems, some seals leak, so it'll slip once in a while, but it's got I guess to run 150,000 on it, something like that. But I like it because I don't like to use a stepladder to get in my truck myself. I like to be able to just get in my truck.
Yeah, my truck currently, like, I'll catch myself having to grab the steering wheel and like jump up into the thing and use it as a handle, because my truck's only leveled and it's already, I mean, it's kind of a jump to get up in it. What is your favorite Duramax, Powerstroke, or Cummins? Favorite Duramax, LBZ 05 to 06. Favorite Cummins, 12 valve, and Powerstroke 7.3 99 to 02 model. Out of those trucks, what would be your favorites?
I've had good luck with my Cummins. I know before I retired, I go to work and it'd be real cold in the mornings. I never plugged my diesel truck in when I went out. I worked night shift. Went out in the morning, started up. It always started. A lot of guys plug their vehicles in. I never did do that, and it always started. It kind of bellow and carry on a little bit when it first started up in a cold morning, but it started.
It's a Dodge. It's a Dodge.
Yeah.
Do you like the 96 F-150s? Would you own one? I do like the OBS style trucks. I probably wouldn't buy an F-150 though. I'd probably go with an OBS 7.3. But I do hear that the 5.0 F-150s back in the day were decent trucks. What's your next truck build? I can say this, it's hopefully going to be a manual in the configuration. That is still at question. How much did you buy your second gen for? I bought my truck for $9,500 and it was in rough shape. Bad shocks because they were all original. Bumpers were shot. The tires all had nails and screws and stuff in them. They were bald. Wheels were hideous. It wasn't in very good shape when I first bought it, and I've got a few thousand in it now, so it's starting to look a little bit better. What is your favorite trucks do you own? I've only owned 2 trucks, and my favorite is going to be my Cummins, but I did really love the Z71 that I had. You remember my black Chevy that I had?
Mm-hmm.
I like that truck. You like that truck?
Yeah.
I thought it was a good truck. It rode good, shifted good. Only had 100,000 miles on it. Got a really good deal on it. I like that truck. What is your grandpa's first vehicle? What is both of your dream trucks? What was your first vehicle?
The 1937 Oldsmobile. Bought it for $50.
Are you serious? I never knew that.
Yeah. Yeah, you wasn't around.
I had no idea. And what is your dream truck? He's asking both of us. What would be your dream? My dream truck, I've answered this in a few videos. I don't really have per se like a dream truck because I kind of go through vehicles pretty regularly, so I don't get like too attached to them. If I could have my dream vehicle for now, my dream vehicle would be probably a brand new Cummins, fully deleted to make it reliable, an aftermarket built transmission pushing like 850 horse. That'd be my truck. But
I never really had a dream truck. I had a 54 Chevy once, half ton. I like that. It'd be nice to have again. I really liked that Dodge I had, the diesel I had. Good truck, pickup, a little, like a car.
El Caminos?
I don't know if they call it El Camino or not.
I know there's an El Camino.
I had 2 of them. One was a 64 and one's a 66.
They look like cars, but they have a bed.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy doing YouTube? I love doing YouTube. It can be kind of a handful trying to come up with a video topic every single day. Like right now it is like 7 o'clock and I'm just now finishing up this video. But yeah, I really enjoy doing it, and I also do a hunting channel where I vlog my hunts. Actually just got some good hunts on camera the last few days, so if you guys want to check.
Tell them about the turkey.
Oh, the turkey. Speaking of my hunting channel, I was hunting tonight and I had a turkey, probably 150 turkeys go up and roost, and I had a big tom fly up and he landed on this limb and it just busted off the tree as soon as he got on it, and he, like, as he was falling down, he got his wings out and caught himself again. But crazy stuff. You guys should definitely go and subscribe to that channel, Brotherhood Outdoors. I'll leave it right here. Would you ever stance your truck? Yes, I would love to stance my truck. The only reason I didn't with mine is because of money, and it was really expensive, and at the time the channel was just starting, and so it was a little more tight on funds. So that's the reason why that didn't get done at the time, but I would love to. Would you buy a first gen for the channel? We have a first gen on the channel, but I would, yes, consider buying another first gen at some point for the channel. Which Powerstroke do you like better, 6.7 or 7.3? 7.3's been bulletproof and we haven't had really any issues with it. But a fully deleted 6.7 with a remanufactured turbo, in a tuner, that would be a sweet truck. I'd probably go with the 6.7 if it was an ideal configuration for your grandpa. If you could have any truck, what would it be? Like if you could pick one truck to own right now.
I'd like to have a real good conditioned 98 Dakota.
Just another Dakota, yeah.
Four-wheel drive. I like the truck. I don't think I ever got stuck with it. I probably didn't try to get stuck with it. It's just been a good truck. I like the 318 engine.
Yeah, that's a very good thing about it. But especially because like what he uses it for, like getting around on the trails in the woods and stuff like that, it's not only easy to get in and out of, it's not a giant truck, but he can run trails and stuff to get firewood and stuff like that. That's a lot easier in a truck like that than it is like a big heavy duty. How much for the KingRanch wheels? $1,000 OBO. Hit me up. I think that is going to wrap up the questions. That is all we had. Thank you for coming out here and answering a few questions. You'll probably see him in the next couple of videos because I'm at his place right now. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching the video. If you guys did enjoy this, definitely leave a thumbs up, leave comments below, subscribe if you are new, join the family. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.
Doing what I love, going day to day, but I know it takes time and I'm patiently waiting. Sometimes I contemplate, cause one day you feel so close and the next is out of sight. But I know I gotta hold on tight to go back to just going out every night. Like if I'm about to let it go now, I can live alright, live a normal life, doing 9 to 5. But I know I'm more than that. I gained this skill, wasn't born with that. At the end of the life, it's a memory.